Hi everyone and welcome to part 2 of our conversation with Elliott Davidson from 50 Shades and Grey. We really hope you enjoyed part 1. If you haven't listened to part 1, then make sure you go back on either platforms and partake in part 1. Part 2 is a little bit more personal. It's all about fears of midlife and a little bit more about the book club members. But we really hope you enjoy this one. It's short, sharp and sweet. And thanks for listening. So we are, in fact, a book club. I mean, heavily disguised book club, but we are.
I know, yeah. It seems certain genres of books as well for you guys. I've noticed a sort of a theme running through.
Oh, yeah.
They're very sexual based, aren't they, a lot of your books?
Romance.
One more so than that.
Okay.
Yes.
So Sian is, she got into romance novels accidentally. I think she thought she was playing a game and ended up getting into romance novels. And we, as part of, trying to find a connection point in our 40s, and we decided to give romance a go. The other three of us who had never picked up outside of a couple of Danielle Steele books. But have you ever read a nice romance book, and would you? Do you want a recommendation? Sian can give you one.
Oh.
Has it got werewolves and vampires in it? I've heard they're good, aren't they?
Yes. Well, yeah, sure, I've got plenty of those.
No, I can't say I have read any. I love a rom-com. I'm more of a film guy. I do love a rom-com, but I haven't actually read any romance novels.
Oh, I've got rom-com books as well. I just can send you a list.
Do you know what it is? I'm not. I love the thought of sitting down and reading a book. I really do. It looks cool, but I can't do it. I'm bored literally after 2 minutes. Like I start reading it thinking this is good, and then as I'm reading it I'm thinking about something else, and then I'm not bored. And even if it's something I'm interested in, actually, unless it's sort of like instructions to something that I'm learning how to do something or how to build something or how to, I can do that. I can't read a whole book.
What's your favorite book then? Do you
have
a favorite?
Winnie the Pooh, easy.
Why did I think you were going to say?
Love Winnie the Pooh.
That's the best answer I've ever heard.
Yeah, everything you want to know about life is in Winnie the Pooh, let me tell you.
And business, life, investing, it's all in Winnie the Pooh.
It's all in there.
Yeah, I've got a Winnie the Pooh for investors book. It's
such a complex, great story about life, Winnie the Pooh. Honestly,
I love it.
It's not just about Tigger's. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And it covers mental health. Eeyore's obviously got depression. It covers friendship. It covers loss. I love that you said that.
Most unexpected ever.
Yeah. My favourite book, now you've said that. Yeah.
Have you seen Zara, have you seen the film about A.A. Milne as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting as well. I thought that was really interesting. Where are you in terms of, like, you're all at different places in your life, but all at the sort of on the same road, but just getting off at different junctions, I guess. So how about for you guys? What's your next biggest fear?
Ooh. I know mine. Well, I'll go first because
go on, Lucia.
My eldest is about to go. Well, she's not about to, but when they're going into that secondary school phase, into their teenage years, that's where my big fear is of. There's two girls turning around and being completely, completely, they're going from, I really love you, mummy, I want you, I need you, you're the best thing on earth, to then in my mind I'm thinking they might just turn into these mean girls that don't want me. Paranoia coming from God knows where. But that's my big fear. And then the other one, along with Sarah, is to lose that youthfulness. So we're trying to just go out all the time, say don't want to lose that youthfulness and just love of the silly things.
Go on, fears are fear.
this conversation is actually my biggest fear. It's getting back into dating. I've removed myself from that world by making the decision to have my daughter for a period of, well, I guess for a period of time. But the longer that I guess you're out of it, the harder it is to think about getting in it. And I've been sat here like, I'm not even sure I would know. And the other thing was, we were out the other day and apparently, and I wasn't aware of it, this guy was hitting on me and my brother had to point it out to me. He's like, that guy was checking you out. I was like, I'm flirting with you. And I was like, was he? So yeah, my biggest fear is that, because, you know, there will be a time when Mia flies the nest. Hopefully she doesn't, but I believe that's what happens. So yeah, this
Zara,
is
if I can ask you a question, if it's too personal, tell me. So you've obviously made a decision to have your daughter on your own. Would you consider having someone to do it with you now, or would you not want to relinquish that control?
Oh, wow.
Deep.
I reckon, so I think more recently, so my answer 6 months ago would have been, I'm not ready to relinquish the control. I actually like that I make all the decisions. I don't have to consult anyone. In the last 6 months, as she started to come into herself, and, you know, everyone always says the newborn stage is hard. That's not hard. That's the easiest part so far, has been when they just sleep for 20 hours a day. But now that she's coming into herself and blossoming, and I'm very lucky, I have a big village of people around us, and I make that's very conscious that I do that, so she has lots of people. I do think I would like actually to have someone who's a part of this process with us, and who I could ask questions of and seek help and support, and also that she has someone else as well, not a different person to help her grow in different ways than I will. And I do sometimes think that was quite selfish to didn't think that one all the way through. So yeah, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I would have said no. Today, I'm probably a lot more open to it, to be honest with you. It's a good question.
I think that's probably the first step towards going where you're going. Then is just being open to something, and that's probably why you didn't realise the guy was hitting on you, because when you're not open to stuff, you don't notice it. But as you sort of that openness becomes more familiar to you, I think you'll probably be more aware of it. Hopefully,
I was pretty rubbish. I was pretty rubbish at the dating game anyway beforehand. So now I've been out of it for a while. I'm going to be the world's worst. But yeah, that's me. Sarah,
What biggest fear? What going
Your
forward?
next biggest fear.
My next biggest fear. I think it's very unknown. I think the next sort of, you know, my eldest is going off to secondary school in September. I feel like I've got a decent grasp on primary school, given I've got 3 in it at the moment. I've got no idea. I remember it, and I just remember it being quite scary. And I think, like, he's so lovely, and the relationship's changed. Like, you guys see it, don't you? When I'm with Ted now, like, the relationship's changed massively to how it was. And yeah, I think he's gonna be 12, guys. 12. And there's a little bit of me that's like terrified that I've only got him really at home for about 6 more years before. I spent so much of my 20s wondering, you know, will I, won't I, when will I, whatever. And then Ted came along, and now this sort of like idea that I've only got 6 more years of him being mine at home before he's an adult. Like, I mean, that's it. Like, I presume he's going to want to live with me forever. But, you know, other than that, like, you know, until he's, you know, legally an adult, and I'm like, I can't, that for me feels very scary. Sort of, you know,
Emptiness.
I spend a lot of time at the moment reminiscing about Teddy at 2 as opposed to Teddy at 12, you know. That's mine. You know, it's Ted. You know Ted. We love Ted.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Sean.
Sean.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sean's gonna say, I have no fears.
Well, I don't know how I would describe it because I don't know that it's a fear, but it's a thing that's just kind of really up in the air for me. My husband and I have been together for a very long time, but we have no children, and we're both only children, so we have no nieces, no actual familial nieces and nephews. I know, I have a godchild in the form of Sarah's daughter, and I have pseudo nieces and nephews in the form of all three of these wonderful ladies' children. But we have no familial nieces and nephews. We have no brothers and sisters. We have no children of our own. And I was saying to Pete, like, oh, we're getting of an age where really we need to start looking at like writing up a will just in case, you never know. And I'm genuinely like, who would we leave our stuff to? Who would we leave the house to? The car, the money? There's not a lot of money, but there's money. But like, who do we leave that stuff to when you don't?
Sarah doesn't need it. So ignore her.
Sean, it sounds like Lottie, really.
Does it sound like one godchild is getting everything?
Bound by God.
But genuinely, and that's, as I say, it's not a fear because I'll be dead. But like, who do we leave our stuff to? It's something that you don't think about until you get to this sort of age when you start realizing that you should be thinking about these things going forward, because you need to plan ahead. Like, if we just suddenly died tomorrow, like, legally, who does the stuff go to if we don't have a will in place? Like,
Don't die tomorrow, dude.
I'll try my best.
So back in the day when you guys were all going out together, who was the most trouble?
100%.
Done.
Sean, okay.
I do know, as soon as you started going who was, I was like, this is going to be me.
Did you
All
guess Sean, or did you think it was someone else?
I thought it might have been Zara, actually.
Oh, she was also
She's a
trouble.
lot of
Yeah.
trouble too.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was the
So,
instigator of a lot of stuff. But
Who was likely the first one to get drunk?
Sean.
also,
Sean. She's a lightweight. So Sean can't handle tequila or any
Tequila,
form of alcohol.
Sean. Tequila Sean, yeah.
tequila is my like kryptonite.
And
Bad times.
okay, one more then. Who was like the likeliest just to go missing on a night out?
Sean.
That's a hat trick.
You win a
She
prize.
has regularly gone missing.
Yes.
We have regularly found her
That's why we're laughing.
in kebab shop,
Dancing in the corner.
just having a rest in the kebab shop. And almost every time we find her after she goes missing, it's our fault. Somehow we did this to her. Somehow. Like, it's honestly, this is why, thank God she got her big drinking out the way when she was younger, because right now,
Sean. She's the most sensible one now.
I am now the boring one that stays at home.
Yeah,
Don't
Sean,
drink
you really were
at
the
home.
most sensible.
I'm now the boring one.
So
Yeah.
whose
I
role was
was the
that when you was going out? Who was the most sensiblest, like the one who was going to get the cab and
I
organise it?
Alicia.
Yeah, me.
Alicia.
100% me.
Or me, I think I was pretty sensible.
Yeah, you were too.
Yeah.
Sarah's very,
you know
you were
when
very
to cut
good.
yourself off.
Huh?
Sorry?
You know when to cut yourself off.
Yeah.
You
I
just
don't like
stop
getting drunk.
drinking.
No.
Yeah, you do just stop drinking at some
Yeah.
point. Alicia
Yeah.
will always know how to get home, no matter what
Alicia always
stage.
gets herself
Pigeon.
home.
Homing pigeon.
Yeah.
Zara,
I'm really
how about
good at the
you?
Irish. I'm good at the Irish goodbye. That's
You
Yeah,
just
just
disappear.
leave and go home.
Just leave.
Actually, you have done that before so many times.
Yeah.
Where's Zara? Oh, I don't know. I think she's gone home. What?
She's done.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question for you, Elliot. Or similarly, is do you feel you're more sensible now, or
When you were
you're going
younger.
out drinking?
No,
Or
I
then?
think I'm pretty. I'm the same as I was before. I'm not a massive drinker. I like having a drink, but I'm not. I've never been a big drinker, so I'll drink to get myself to a certain place and then stop because I know it's just going to be a headache after that. So yeah, I've pretty much always been like that. I've always been sort of the same, I think, right the way through. Still love going out, like you
You're
guys say. I still love going out. I love going to clubs.
Yeah.
Not that I do it now, because I don't think you feel like you belong in clubs anymore, which is a real shame, because I still love listening to music and dancing and doing all those things. But you kind of just feel like it's wrong, because you feel like you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Almost. It's a shame, really, because you feel like that's for younger people, but it's not. It should be for everyone. But you just get made to feel like you guys were saying, like you're too old to do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I don't know if you heard Jamie Lee Curtis. She said that she doesn't understand why artists don't do like matinee concerts.
Yes.
And we were talking about, why don't clubs open in the afternoon so that you can go as
The old people can go.
we can go.
I don't want to go in the afternoon.
No, exactly.
But how good would it be?
Go in the afternoon. Yeah, definitely. I get clubbing in the afternoon.
Go
No,
out.
we have jobs, guys. Like, we got to go to work. Just
Go on the weekend.
when we have jobs.
You go out, you have your lovely lunch with your mates, you have a few glasses of wine, you get a bit tipsy, you kind of want a little dance, but it's a bit too early. If there was a club and it was like you went in and it had a cool DJ and you could carry on drinking your delightful Chardonnay and it didn't smell like wee and
Yet.
The Chardonnay or the place you were going to?
And you're home by 8.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm actually going to open that as a business.
You'll find me in the kebab shop next door.
Yeah, I think they've got those. They're called retirement homes. I think that's pretty much how they work.
A bucket of paint that retirement home red.
I'd quite happily, though, go out clubbing at 2:00 in the afternoon to be home by 8. Definitely.
All day.
Yeah. Because I started the day at like 5, 6.
Is that next week, Sarah? Is that what we're doing? The no strikes.
I think you did forward me on a place.
A place. Yes. We should do it.
So yeah, next week. You're off, right? You stopped working.
Also, the younger kids apparently don't really go clubbing anymore. So all the lovely clubs in Soho are shutting down.
The lovely club.
All the venues are, a lot of the venues are struggling because I don't think as many, I might have made the stat up, but I really don't think there's many people going out.
I think that's because the bar scene's a lot bigger than it used to be, though. I think that's why you get like the music in the bars now, don't you? So I think there's a lot more of those that survive, like that are around, and rooftop bars and everything else now. I think there's a lot more of those, and they're all quite cool as well. And they're nice to go to in the afternoon when the sun's out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's it. We've got you. We're bringing you around to our afternoon drinking.
Next time you're in
This is what this really is, isn't it? It's an afternoon drinking club with a book somewhere.
Yeah. You can bring your book with you, but we're going to have a nice bottle of Chardonnay in the sunshine and then get home.
We're afternoon drinkers who are in bed by 8.
Yeah,
It's a smart idea.
This is what middle age looks like. Yeah.
I was watching this thing on the radio listening to this thing on the radio the other day, and they were saying that we're too old now to say they played that 50 Cent song in the club, but they were saying we're too old now to say in the club.
He's like, I think so too old to say in the club.
Yeah, definitely. But like I was kind of, Lottie was asking me about the song, and I was like, I couldn't say in da, like you just can't say in da club, like it's stupid.
Sarah, you would say Aloha Chicken Pizza when we were 18. So.
It's still funny. Like I just couldn't order a pizza without laughing. It's a funny thing to say. Aloha chicken, like what the.
We're descending into chaos, so let me wrap it.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Come on, mute her.
I don't think I can. Mute. Anyway,
all right, Zara.
I'm good.
Okay, that brings us to the end of another episode. I'd like to thank these lovely ladies for agreeing to have me on, and it's been a delight speaking to you all. But subscribe below. Look on their stuff as well. They do some great stuff. If you're into your romantically biased novels with werewolves and vampires. But catch us on 50 Shades in Grey. Have a good time, guys. Bye.
Well, I just want to say a massive thank you from Part 2 Book Club to Elliott Davidson and 50 Shades in Grey for joining us. It's been an absolute delight. You are our first and inaugural collaboration / guest / you are now a fully fledged member of the Part 2 Book Club with us. And we'll get Sian to send you one of her dirtiest books for you to enjoy. But thank you so much for listening. Again, follow us on the socials. We're Part 2 _ Book Club on the Instagram. We're Part 2 Book Club on YouTube. And of course, you can find our podcast on all the major podcast platforms. Just search for Part 2 Book Club. But thank you so much for listening. Elliott, thank you so much again. It's been an absolute pleasure. And good luck in the dating game.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we both find love in the next 50 years.
10 minutes.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks
That
again.
was fun.
We appreciate it.
No, guys, thank you.
Yeah.
Been a pleasure. Been good fun. Good fun.
Yeah.